What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and this is Behind Every Story. If this is your first time with us, let me explain what's happening. I love stories, from comic books to film, songs to jokes, sitting around a campfire with just a buddy, or sitting in an audience that's being enveloped by a storyteller. I love hearing people's stories, and what I love more is hearing the stories behind those stories.
I feel it's personally a lack of my own self-control.
There's so many ghost stories.
No, I don't think I would survive for long.
This show is the proverbial director's commentary on the movie of life. Stories are what bring us together, and no matter where you come from, stories link us. And during this pandemic, I believe that we need stories now, and that connection more than ever. So I put an ad up on my Facebook page to see who would be interested in doing some podcasts and answering some seemingly random questions. And before I did this, I drafted up these 50 questions, and I went kind of all over the board with them. Some of them are very simple, some of them are more socioeconomical, and some of them are extremely personal. I did let everyone who signed up know that they didn't have to answer every question if they didn't want to.
Well, I don't think I can share that.
I can't talk about that.
And sure enough, most people did pass on some questions, while others answered every question. The one thing I really liked about doing this experiment is I wanted to talk to anyone. I didn't want to talk to podcast people specifically, and they didn't have to have great equipment or wonderful mics or amazing sound or anything like that. So throughout these 50 episodes, you're going to hear real people. You're going to hear pets. You're going to hear kids. You're going to hear really bad mics, but that's okay because these are real people telling their real stories. And from time to time, you'll hear my cat as well.
Was that a cat?
Yeah, that's my fucking cat trying to get in my room. If you can hear my cat, that will not be on the recording.
Okay, we have 3.
I was able to get everyone onto a Google Doc to schedule a time over the span of a week. And for that week, I did nothing but interview people. And I interviewed them with all of these 50 questions. Now, the point of this is to cut each question into its own episode. So each episode, you'll be hearing their stories behind their answers to the question. Going into the interview itself, no one knew what the questions were.
Gosh, this is why these are so hard, is because if I had like 10 minutes to think about it, I could come up with something, but that's just... And I'm like, oh, I know there's something. I know there is something.
I really wanted people to go into this blind because I didn't want well thought out and manicured and prepared answers. I wanted it to feel more like we were sitting around a campfire, we were talking, and this is the first thing that came to mind. Oftentimes, I find that the first stories that come to mind, whether we want people to know them or not, are often the ones in our hearts. So I wanted real answers. Throughout the recordings of the interviews, no one knew the questions going into this, so it was really fun to hear their expressions when they heard the questions.
I'm trying to grab the first thing that comes into my mind, but I'm drawing a blank.
Well, there's a part of me that feels really guilty because I kind of love this.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good one. Fuck.
I heard a lot of stories, and I am blessed and honored that these people not only took the time to answer these seemingly silly questions, but they really decided to open up and share their real stories. While some of the stories are funny and it's just fun to listen to them, listener discretion advised, some of the stories aren't all happy.
Oh my God. Okay, this is hard.
All right, so I'm going to try to get through this without crying.
With everyone in quarantine right now, I believe we need stories now more than ever. And I believe it's my job and my duty to give something back to this world.
Oh, man. So deep.
these are so deep, Jason.
Ooh, that's a good one to start with.
And if I can help anyone by sharing these stories with other people, I believe I'll have done my job. And that means the world to me.
There's got to be something next. Otherwise, it's incredibly disappointing.
It is kind of the ultimate question, isn't it?
Why don't I know myself well enough to do this interview? Who am I?
Ooh, that's a difficult one.
Because it's just powerful and it kind of says it all.
I think we're all really emotionally raw right now. There's so much weighing on our shoulders. There's so much clouding over our heads of uncertainty and fear and what the hell is going to happen next and when is it going to happen? I believe we need to connect now more than ever, and there's no better way than to connect through stories.
God, these are really good questions.
Oh man, that's cheating. How could you? Let's see. All right.
Sounds crazy considering what we're going through.
I really hope you guys enjoyed these episodes. They were a blast to create, and they were so much fun to get to talk with these people. Some people I knew, most of the people I didn't, and it kind of surprised me how many people came out of the woodwork for this, and I'm honored and blessed again to these amazing interviewees, and thank you so much.
I love the way you said that question too, Jason, I gotta say.
Oh, that's a good question.
That next thing. This is a warm-up. This is the opening act.
As per always with the show, I'm going to tell you my own story dealing with each of the questions. And I've made a promise to all of my interviewees that I will be answering these questions as well. Like, no matter what's happening to you, you're not alone. Even if you do feel it locked up in your house, you're not alone. The world is going through this with you, and we're going through it at the same time. We're all in this big story called life together. And I really hope you enjoy this journey and this adventure with me.
Oh my God. These are so many great questions and I have no answers.
It's a tough question. I just feel like that's a very open-ended question.
Be sure to subscribe to Behind Every Story on your favorite podcast streaming app, or you can visit us on our website at behindeverystory.com. And be sure to like us on Facebook at Behind Every Story so you can stay up to date when new episodes are released.
Oh, an ethics question.
My brain hurts, Jason. Okay.
And it's going to be an amazing experience sitting around this campfire for 50 episodes.
I was not anticipating these kind of questions, Jason. We're really digging in here. But props to you.
This is an ambitious project.
So stay tuned and be sure to check us out on Behind Every Story.